underway.
Again, one of our top stories this morning, Neil Entwistle under arrest for murder in London, and now a judge will decide whether or not he's sent back to Massachusetts for trial. Charles Moure is an expert in international law. And Charles, welcome here to Fox in Seattle. What happens in court tomorrow, Charles?
Yes, it's my understanding that the U.S. prosecutors have invoked a 60-day provisional warrant. They've requested that the UK authorities hold the Entwistle for 60 days and to allow them to then invoke the formal charges under the treaty.
So this judge is going to have some kind of evidence starting tomorrow. How much evidence will he have, Charles?
Not much. It's really a very short, quick proceeding. It's simply to invoke the 60-day provisional hold on Entwistle, and they're probably doing this because they probably have some indication that there's some form of flight risk that he might leave the jurisdiction, might leave the UK.
Then, if that's the case, does he meet bail tomorrow? Is that even an option?
My understanding is it's not. He is held for the 60 days. Bail is not an option. And then after the 60 days, if the U.S. does not make the formal request, it's discretionary in the UK as to whether they can continue to hold them. At some point, the U.S. will have to make the formal request under the treaty, and then bail will be an option.
How difficult is this, or not, to get him returned to Massachusetts?
It can be quite difficult and a quite lengthy process. It can go on for years. He's entitled to essentially a mini trial in the magistrate court, and then all of the appeals that a criminal defendant in the UK is allowed to have. He can appeal it to the High Court of London, the High Court in England, and then my understanding is that decision can be appealed to the European Court of Justice.
Yeah, one more thing.
France.
We're hearing word then that this court appearance tomorrow, at least initially anyway, may last about 10 or 15 minutes. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, it will not be a lengthy proceeding. He will stay in custody for the 60-day period.
I think your insight there was very interesting, too, about how this process could take a very long time, and with referrals and appeals, too. It could get quite thick. Charles Moure, thanks for your time in Seattle.
Thank you.
Keep it here on